Hey everybody, Ben here from Art Less Ordinary. So today I'm going to do Jesmonite coasters again, and I'm going to do a similar theme with my dots, but then I'm going to use a stamp over the top of the dots to kind of give them a little bit more something to it. So I've tried to make up some autumn colours because I'm going to put flowers and leaf stamps on. So I've made this kind of peachy, salmony colour. They're all a bit pastel-y. A pastel-y yellow that came out a tiny bit darker than I planned. It's hard to, when you've got small amounts, to put enough. You don't want to put too much colour in. Sometimes one drop is even too much. And this one here is kind of like an orange yellow, kind of I'm not sure, but they're the three colours I've made, and I have just put them in my little squeezy bottles. So I've got to work quick. I'm using circular coasters, and I have drawn a quick little display of roughly where I want the colour to be. So it doesn't really matter. I'm just trying to have a plan. It's not always easy. So I'm going to just do my circles, but I'm going to do reasonable sized ones. But I also don't want them to go over the edge. So that's number 3, and then I got another number 3 down here. And then I might leave that for now, because it'll be easier once I can see where the other colours are. This is number 2. So like I said, it doesn't have to be exact, just a rough plan of what I want is good enough for me. And this is just a needle tip bottle. Okay, now over here. Just going to have to make sure I don't overdo the sides, because they will spread a little bit. I want them to be close, but I don't really want them to touch. I'm going to do another one here in that colour. It's not always easy to space them out exactly. Okay. Now I'm just going to do some other sized ones, but I'm not going to do little dot ones this time. I'm just doing some smaller ones. So I think I need another smaller one here. I don't have this colour one, so let's do one here. Okay, that's exactly how I want that one to be. Now, do the next one. I'm not going to do a plan for this one. I just wanted to have a plan. The hard part is working quick enough, because you don't want the Jesmonite to set in these needle tips. I'm going to do what? Probably pick up a bottle each time. So I've got to squeeze this with both hands. Those two touched. Just trying not to get any of them to touch, but doesn't matter. Sorry if my hand's in the way. I want to try and squeeze the bottle with a reasonable amount of force. They're going to touch. I knew they were. It doesn't matter if I don't make them exact, and if I'm not too keen on it afterwards, I can always just have it as a single coaster. Yeah, I'm a bit disappointed that they ended up touching, but can't do much about that. Alrighty. A couple touched over here too now. They kept spreading. Oh well, we'll see how that looks. It might actually look quite alright. So what I'm going to do now is pause this, let that set a little bit more, and then I'm going to pour a base, a coat of it. I need to wash these out, but while they've still got stuff in them, I'll pause it, and then I'm going to just make up some little pendants and that, just to not waste it. Alright, so we will be back. Okay, bye. Okay, we are back. Sorry if I've got some other pieces in the way. I've tried to use up the rest of my Jesmonite without wasting it, and I can't move my camera angle properly. So I've mixed up just plain white. And so for the coasters, I'm just going to use plain white. So I've stirred it up, I've mixed it. Now I'm just going to pour it in over the top. So the reason why the coasters, the other stuff is in the way and I haven't moved them out of the way is when you do this type of style, you don't really want to be moving the molds because you don't want the bottom parts to dislodge at all. Otherwise this white will go up underneath it and then it won't be a complete circle. So you kind of want to keep your molds in place until you've actually done this base coat. And I also won't tap these. I don't want there to be any reason for the base coat to dislodge. Now, I just give them a slight blow to pop those bubbles. But that's it. I'm not going to tap them or do anything else. I'm just going to leave them as is. Okay, so that's it for this part. So now we will come back for the demolding and the stamping. So, back again soon. Okay, we are back. And I'm getting time to demold these and then stamp them. Now, I am virtually, these have set. There's a few bubbles on the back. Doesn't matter. It's always the back of the coaster, which will have like stoppers on it anyway. So I don't normally do white, or this is just plain Jesmonite colour, but I thought with these colours it would look quite cool. Yeah, I like those colours. I am slightly disappointed that they joined. It's not what I was going for, but it happened. So lesson learned, next time just make the circles a little bit more further away from each other, or don't actually do them as big. I quite like the larger ones, but yeah. So I don't know if I'm supposed to let these dry a little bit before I stamp. I've not done stamping before. Like, I really haven't actually used a stamp since I was a kid. So I brought these and I've been wanting to use them for ages. So I thought, why not? I actually got these to use as a insert type of thing. I know what I mean. Use them in Jesmonite to do a little pattern, but I thought, why not actually use them as a stamp? I haven't done this before, so I don't really know what I'm actually doing. Oh, they're quite sticky. Stickier than I had thought. So I don't have a stamping tool. So I thought I'd put it on the back of this, but I have to just position it the right way. So I can get them on. So I'll just put it on the back of this little box, because you need something flat. And I had lots of bottles, but I didn't really have anything flat. So I'm going to have to just test this out. And I don't know what ink to use. I've got this Versa Magic. I don't know. Oh, it's got another cover. I don't really know what I'm doing. I've just thought it would look kind of cool. Hope that's enough ink. Again, still learning. Now, I hope that's right. That's quite cool. Nice little flower. I'm going to do the same flower on the other coaster too. Doesn't have to be on the same colour part either, or the same position. Might do it in the same position but different colour. Ooh, cool, that looks good. I'm happy. Good, now I can relax. I don't know if I'm supposed to wipe off my stickers straight after using them. Like I said, I don't really know what I'm doing with this. Oh, that looks clean. Cool. Unpeel it. Now, I'm a stickler for being, well, trying to be as organised as I can. So I'm going to put this back in its packet right where it originally was. Now I've got to work out what other patterns I actually chose to use. I am going to run into a slight issue, and I don't really know how to fix that. The box I'm using is actually a little bit too big to get into all the positions that I need it to get into. So I need something a bit smaller, and I don't know what I have apart from a piece of resin art that I've used. So maybe I will just use that, because I think that gives me a little bit more flexibility about how much space I've got to be able to put it. So the problem is it's not completely see-through. So what I am trying to do is put these stamps actually in the circles that I've made. Okay, cool. So I think by actually putting them inside the circle, it actually gives it that kind of like placed look, like that's where it should have been the whole time. That was my plan from the beginning, was putting it where I think it would actually suit and look the best. So next I have a couple of leaves that I was going to use. So we'll get one of these out. These are quite different to work with. I'm not used to them. So I want that to be here. So I need to stick that on that side of my stamping love heart. Still figuring it all out in my head. Okay. So again, my circles aren't identically in the same spots, so I have to just kind of go with what looks close. Like, they don't need to be identical. I like symmetry, but then not always, but with this I kind of want them to look like they're a pair, but not to be perfectly identical, because I think that would actually take away from its look. Now, what was the other leaf I was going to use? So what I did is I put little dots on the front of the packaging so I could see which shapes I wanted to use. So I'm going to go with this one here next. And that one I will place on that side, so then I can get it up into that corner. This is actually more fun than I thought. Now, my stamping is probably not perfect or up to the standard of people that have done stamping a lot more frequently. I'm just trying to have fun and see how it looks, and like most things, you kind of get a bit more used to them as you go. So what is the other ones I wanted to use? Okay, I've got two patterns in this packaging. So I've got to open this one up. So it is that one and that one. Okay. So this will be whereabouts? Because I've got two spots. 1, 2, 1, 2. I feel like I've got 3 in that one. I'm going to do this on the smaller one there. Oops. feel like it's a little bit of what I would call a blowout, which means that see how that's a little bit more better shaped, that kind of went over. I don't know if that's something that happens commonly with stamping. So I'm just cleaning up my stamps with alcohol ink before I put them back in their packaging. And this one up here. Which I'll place there. I hope this isn't taking too long for you guys. I just want to make sure that I get it right. Okay. I'm really pleased actually with how this is looking. And I'll probably leave these for, I'd say 24 hours before I decide to seal them. Hoping that the ink I have brought from the shop can handle actually being used. I've got one more flower to go in. I don't know what shape to do, but one more. I need something smallish that would fit both of those positions quite well. I do think this one here would. Have to just try and see. So it needs to be down the bottom end. Okay. Like that. Let's try that. I don't want to restamp that because I worry I'm going to mess it up. But if I don't restamp it, it's going to look funny. How am I going to do this? Okay, I tried to match it as much as I could. It's actually pretty good for my effort. Not perfect, but it actually doesn't look too out of place. So, the more I probably end up getting a proper stamping tool, and I'll learn more how to actually stamp the more that I do. I think when you're still learning, you can be a little bit kind of nervous about what you're actually doing, which is how I'm actually feeling. But there, that's actually it. So I'll spin these around so you guys can actually see. But what do you think? I quite like them. I wanted them to be a little bit minimalist, as in not over the top. But I wanted them to have stuff that gave out some more interest, not just having dots on there. And these have got the natural Jesmonite background. So I often do dark backgrounds, but I wanted to use a natural Jesmonite background. So then the darker color was the actual stamp. And I'm going to just practice more on stamping, because I think some parts I might have put too much pressure and got a little bit of a blowout. But if you've done stamping before, like in scrapbooking or whatever, you would actually know what to do better than little old me at the moment. So, but I think they're going to be quite cool. So I'm going to have to let these dry. Like, I can actually still feel quite a bit of moisture from now these resting on that flat surface. So I need to put them somewhere where they can actually get air from all sides, dry out, and then I'll seal them later on. But there we go, cute little coasters. I'm quite happy. And stamps, there's so many different shapes and patterns that the kind of possibilities really are quite a lot. I've got flowers and leaves. I'm a horticulturalist, so flowers and leaves kind of fit into my life quite well. But there's always like this packaging that's come with a love heart and a couple of insects. So there's always something else I can do. I'm just going to cover up my ink pad now. And if you guys have got any tips about ink, please let me know, because I really don't know what I'm doing. I'm just brought an ink pad that was not the cheapest and not the most expensive, and said that it works on most surfaces. So that was my plan, was mostly one that would actually adhere to Jesmonite without rubbing off when I go to seal it. So we'll live and learn. So that's it for now, and hope you guys had fun watching this. And let's see if I can bring one up. Ooh. Closer. Whoa. There we go. So as you can see, the stamping's not too bad. I got to get better at it, but I'm quite happy with the way that looks. The colours are probably pretty close to what I wanted. Jesmonite can be hard to actually get the right colours. I wish the yellow was a little bit more subtle, and I wish the orangey one was a little bit more peachy. Yeah, I didn't get quite the exact colours I wanted, and I wish they didn't join, but can't help that, they did that. But always learning experiences when you do these things. So there we go. So let me know what you think. Comment, like, share and subscribe, and I will see you soon for another video. Alright, catch you later. Bye. Okay, here we are, everybody. So this is outside in the shade. As you can see, they've come up really good. Really happy with these stamps. Now, we'll go out into the sun, but I've got a feeling it's going to be too bright, because where I live is very sunny, and sometimes the glare can be a little bit too much. But I'm really happy. So as you can see, they're uniformed, as in they've got the same type of colours, the same type of stickers or stamps, but they're not identical. I didn't really want them to be perfectly the same. I wanted them to have their own little flair, but at the same time be something that's quite cool. But yeah, this one here, a little bit of a blowout when I did the stamping, because I'm still new. I'm learning how it works. Let me just move to a spot where I can use both hands. But I'm really happy. So they look really cool. I haven't not varnished these yet or done a top coat, but that will be coming. I'll have to do that in the next day or so. Got to go to work today. Focus. I put it down and I get a shadow, and then I can't focus again. But yeah, so there they are. I really like these. I'm heading back down into the bright shade. There we go, bright shade. But yeah, awesome. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will see you soon for another video. So just comment, like, share the video, and subscribe if you haven't already. Alright, catch you later. Bye.